Denny put the block on him. Great job not causing a wreck on that block.
White flag under green. Next flag will end the race, and Newman is there.
Newman's got locked onto his rear bumper just like he did. Oh, wrecking behind Chase Elliott around.
Spinning around, still green. Still green, and here they come.
And here comes Blaney.
Ryan Blaney up behind Ryan Newman, trying to get him to Hamlin.
Newman backed up to Blaney. Big run coming here.
To the inside, Newman to the front.
Nothing Denny Hamlin can do. What can Ryan Blaney now do? Here comes a push from Denny Hamlin. Well, this thing's not over yet. Not at all.
Ryan Newman off turn 4 for the final time. Blaney to the outside. To the inside. Here comes Hamlin up the outside. Craig. Into the wall, into the air. Goes Newman.
Upside down.
In a shower of sparks on his roof, Ryan Newman comes across the line, 4th. And comes to rest. Scoring unofficial between Hamlin and Blaney as far as who crossed the finish line first.
Guarantee a spot, but it is completely open behind him. Matty D, Byron Johnson, and remember, winning you're in. So even though their names may not be on that screen, if they're outside the top 20 and they're in victory lane, they're in the playoffs, Rick.
A couple drivers that had to go to the rear, Austin Dillon as well as Clint Boyer. Unofficial changes for those cars put them to the back of the field. Again, points given out at the end of stage 1 and stage 2. That can help someone on their playoff hopes. Ready to kick off the end of the regular season from Daytona.
Starting to organize those. Logano jumps, tries to get up there to block it, but can't. A little bit too late there. Big run. Keselowski, Truex down the back straight away, going into the lead.
Now Joey Logano in that 22 car. Now he is to the rear bumper. Kevin Harvick going to push that bottom line. So move Kevin Harvick. More momentum off the Truex to the bottom.
Manufacturers will work together, but when an opportunity presents itself, these drivers are going to take it. Things happen in a split second. It can change just that quickly, and those are the decisions that have to be made as well.
Truex had to go up and try to block Harvick there, who had to run. Off the nose of Joey Logano.
You want to run down to the bottom and block Truex. Now he's driving with that mirror. Listen to his spotter. Decide what lane to go to. Now Truex is there, so Harvick 2 lane on the block.
The outside line's push 2 guys to the front. I think I'd stick with that outside line for a little bit. Look how organized and tight they are on the outside line. That's where the momentum's going to be. Keselowski, a great pusher here early on in this race, the first few laps.
Every driver talked about wanting to maintain the lead, get the lead and maintain it, because it's so hard once you get back in the back to work your way through. So what you're seeing is these drivers getting the stage points.
Outside line's kind of lost its momentum, or the inside line has lost its momentum. They're getting organized now, try to make another run at it.
The car needs the 48 right to his rear bumper, actually pushing him.
Yeah, Jimmy needs to get aggressive with that bump grab, don't you think? Yes,
I do. I think Tyler Reddick needs to get aggressive with the brake, drag that brake a little bit. Pull Jimmy Johnson to you. Counterintuitive, I think if you drag the brake, you can go faster, but if you can get that 48 right to your rear bumper, you will pick up speed.
How hard is too hard as far as bumping into someone?
You're not wrecking.
That's the limit?
That's the limit. That's it.
Boy, tiptoe up to that limit.
To the bottom line, make another run. Now, 3 laps to go.
Jimmy's going to have to get some help to get to the bumper of that 8 car to be able to push him. Man, that outside line is tight. They're tight together, and they're going to create a lot of speed doing that. 21 back there, Dale. I don't think he has any option, right? Because Ryan's up on this highline, Marty.
You see Matty D kind of struggling back there, and since he's gotten behind John Hunter-Nemechek, he said, my car just feels, quote, slow. So, Jeff, I'm wondering, if you get behind certain cars, does your car react differently, even though you're in a draft at 200 miles an hour?
Yes, it does. It's amazing how different it can be between one car and another car, how your car drives, the speed that it has. Now, like two to go to the stages. Who will make a move in this top lane, and when will they make it? If they make it soon enough, it'll help that bottom lane. If they're smart, they'll wait as long as they can to make that move. I'm looking at Eric Jones in that 20 car. Just looking at him thinking he's the guy. That 95 car. Those guys have a tremendous amount to gain.
Logano continuing to look strong, leading over his Penske teammate Ryan Blaney just behind him.
There it went. Oh, there's a move. Eric Jones, first one to make it. Blaney got him. Logano's got a block.
Eric Jones trying to take it away. Logano goes down and blocks. Here comes the 18, though, also.
Look what's going to happen with that bottom lane. That's going to give them a lot of forward momentum right here.
Big runs coming from behind.
Reddick, big run. Here comes the 48. Jimmy Johnson. How aggressive will he be? Byron also moving. The double yellow line is out of bounds. They can't go below that and make a pass.
Free wide here with Blaney.
It's going to slow that lane down. It's going to be hard to help them behind right now.
Reddick went up to side draft, trying to side draft Logano for the win of stage one. Logano on that high line holds him off. He'll win stage one at Daytona.
Man, that was like a race to the checkered flag right there. Guys making some pretty risky moves. It tells you how important it is for these guys to get these points in these stages. More critical now in this race than ever.
Clint Boyer locking in his spot. Now 2 spots remain. Only 2. And again, if you win, you advance. The field approaching the guy called restart zone. Stage 2 underway. Christopher Bell in the 95 has been announced he will go to Joe Gibbs Racing next year. So Ryan Family Racing right now, the owner of the 95 number and that team that they are selling. They have sold that number and the charter. So they will be out of NASCAR. Eric Jones in the 20. Because of Clint Boyer clinching and moving into the playoffs, Eric Jones now has to win if he wants to make it into the playoffs.
Jimmy had a pretty decent run there. Could have went to the inside. Stay committed to the back of Eric Jones. Jimmy getting help from Kurt Busch.
Told us this week he would learn as well. He really loves working with Derek Nealon as a spotter. Met him a couple of years ago when he was running part-time for Jim Ganassi Racing. The races that he wasn't running, he went up in the spotter stand with Nealon, and they said, I saw his passion. I saw what he was willing to do to get to victory lane, and I wanted to work with that guy. And when they had a chance, they brought him to Richard Tildes Racing last year.
All right, Steve, so we're riding along board. Ricky Stenhouse here with the Sonic camera. Sitting there half throttle. Full throttle off, turning
Back to Benedetto in that bright yellow car. Remember, he needs points. And all that outside lane lined up on him, and they all went by him. So if he can go this whole way, and the guys in front of him can as well, look at all the points he is potentially losing. He was in the inside in the wrong lane.
Thanks to block, Blaney has a little momentum on the low side. Can he pull side by side for the lead here at Daytona?
Truex is going to push that 22. He had a shot there to go to the inside. He's going to stay on his bumper into turn 3 and 4.
The end of stage 1 was very aggressive. I think this is going to be more aggressive. You just get the feel of the intensity picking up.
Coming up on 1 to go. 1 more lap in stage 2. Logano out front.
Here comes Johnson trying to look to the inside of 14. There's contact.
Clint's blocking him. Clint was a big block right there. That's going to slow that line down.
Almost got sideways. Boyer, though, up to second. Now he'll drop back a bit. The 48 of Jimmy Johnson trying to find someone to work with to get up front. Logano blocks again. Joey Logano out front. He won stage 1, looking to win stage 2. Boyer, Martin Truex Jr. fighting behind him for position. Coming through the triangle again. Logano does it again. He'll win stage 2. points. Everyone fighting for position on the racetrack, trying to get into position to win at Daytona. One of the biggest things you can do in your career. Martin Truex Jr. now has Joey Logano all over his back bumper. They're trying to pull away. They've got Clint Boyer running in that third spot.
Rick, I was just shocked. I knew this, but I didn't believe it as we prepped for the race. Martin Truex Jr. over 61 in speedway races. I mean, that just shocked me. You can see this crazy racing. We have 55 laps to go. Everyone will need to come to pit road for fuel, some sooner than others, but no one can make it to the finish.
You also predicted 1 for 62, I think was what you made a comment. You threw that out there.
Michael Walker told me he went.
Ryan Newman certainly one of those. When I asked him earlier, are you willing to be aggressive? He said, hey, I'll be aggressive as I was in February. This time, I'll finish it, though. And I love Ryan's leadership behind the wheel, kind of calming his crew down under this last caution, saying, hey, don't be in a hurry this stage. Let me do the work. You worry about the pit strategy. I'll get us up front right now.
It looks like it's the last lap for Ryan Newman right now.
Well, it is Ryan Newman. Every lap is the last lap. He's 100% all the time.
Matt Benedetto made a move. This whole line was single file, about 15th position, but Matt Benedetto went 3 wide. Jimmy Johnson trying to stay in the center of this sandwich. Now he's going to get behind.
Matters.
They're coming up with some lap cars here. Caution's out.
Caution has come out. And so everyone can collectively catch their breath. Fourth caution of the night.
We can catch ours too. Goodness. That was wild. Wild racing.
And there's the reason for the caution, the 51. It's James Davison out of Melbourne, Australia. And a lot of damage to the back of that 51.
It's pretty obvious the car has at some point hit into the wall with the right side and the rear bumper, flat tires all around. I actually think he's hit every panel on that car.
Man, I've never experienced energy and anxiety and excitement like this from a race.
Well, now we're going to get a restart.
Yeah,
Well,
bunch
bunch
it all up
like
again.
12 or 13 to go. That's going to be crazy.
We see the restart. Could it be the final restart? 13 laps to go from Daytona. And quickly the 18 of Kyle Busch jumps in front of the 11 and down to the bottom line.
How much of a difference will the new tires make for some of those guys in the back that came down and got them? We heard their cars weren't driving very good. You have to imagine the guys on the older tires don't have the grip that they're going to need here late in this race.
Outside late, they were really all running into each other. I was surprised Jimmy Johnson didn't go to the bottom. Kevin Harvick decided to go to the bottom. Jimmy Johnson staying at the top, now moving to the bottom.
Yeah, the top line slowing down, bunching up, and so the 48 of Jimmy Johnson moves to the bottom. And now that bottom line seizes up.
I think we're going to test a lot of these guys' record avoidance here. In a lap or two, it's going to get crazy.
Harvick went to the middle. Jimmy Johnson went with him. Jimmy's got to take every opportunity to move forward. Going to have to take some chances.
A lot of sparks still flying from underneath the 48.
Oh, yeah.
Air temps coming out still for that team.
Screechy's working these cars down throughout the race, getting that spoiler out of the air.
This is nerve-wracking time if you're a driver. Coming to 12 to go on a super speedway on a restart. So many times we see wrecks happen in these situations. Drivers are no longer going to lift, no longer going to cut you any slack. Jimmy Johnson going wherever Kevin Harvick goes right now.
How aggressive will they get? Kyle Busch has not won in 2020. The defending Cup Series champion, the two-time champion, still searching for his first win of the season.
Stenhouse in that outside line, getting aggressive. Jones right there behind the yellow 22, Logano. Jones and Truex and Stenhouse. Actually, it's Chase Elliott there. Jones, Chase Elliott, Stenhouse in that outside line, working really hard.
Remember the 6 right in the middle next to Chase Elliott. We saw the 6 of Ryan Newman, and what an emotional roller coaster he's got to be going through. Earlier this year at the start, coming to the finish of the Daytona 500, wrecks out, doesn't remember anything about the race. Now back in the pack here and says he wants to go out and win.
Look how much these cars move around as you ride along. Ryan Newman, then it goes to Cole Cam. Look at that car game there with your foot of him, just dancing around.
Right now, William Byron is not in the playoffs, stuck behind Johnson.
Yeah, where's he going to go? He's stuck in the ball 3 wide. There's only so much room.
It's coming to 9 to go.
They all know that. They hear that clock ticking.
Tyler Reddick on the outside of the third groove.
Reddick's going to make something happen.
Busch brothers side by side for the lead. Mayhem behind them.
Drivers have to win to make it. Guys like Tyler Reddick, Eric Jones, that outside line, they're doing anything they can to get up here and fight for the win at Daytona.
Kurt Busch battling with his brother.
3 wide behind Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch picking his lane.
Tyler Reddick has to win. Put himself in position. So does Eric Jones. Great run here.
Huge run right here.
What does Eric Jones do? He helps his teammate.
Tyler Reddick out front. Now Tyler's going to try to block.
He's in the fence.
Up into the wall he goes. The 18 onto the wall. Eric Jones gets caught up in it as well. The big one does happen. The 47, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Vidal. Austin Dillon caught up in this. That's Ryan Newman in the 6. Kurt Busch in the 1.
Little damage to the 19 down there. He's carrying a bumper cover down pit road. Kurt Busch trying to get in the pit lane.
You could feel it coming. You knew it was coming. Just
37 also, Ryan Preece. A lot of damage.
Ryan Newman.
Yeah, window net down, and he's going to climb out under his own power this time at Daytona. I'm sure not happy about the way this one ends.
No, but I know it's not how he wanted it to end, but just to be back at the track, I mean, it's unbelievable. I know he doesn't care about that right now, right? He's a competitor, but it's great to see him at the track.
Yeah, the AMR safety team right there on the track, and he waves to the crowd. And you know the crowd is thankful to see these drivers, especially Ryan, after what he's been through here at Daytona, to get out of these cars.
Ryan is thankful and glad to be back here, but he is a racer, and he is going to be so disappointed to not check the box to finish this race tonight. Let's look at some of these replays of how this happened. Get the run from the 20 car. Reddick's going to the inside. I didn't think he was going to get clear when Jones went to help, but he did. He goes up to block into that outside line. Some contact there with the 18, both of them in the pit.
24, 48, the 21. I think all those 3 got by with no damage. The 24, we got to get another look at him and make sure he didn't get some damage on his right side. But you said it, Junior, right here, Tyler Reddick, clear, way too aggressive of a block. No way Kyle Busch could really do anything there. And then everything behind it just is complete chaos.
A huge hit by that 37
Yeah,
gets
Ryan
turned
Preece.
back up the racetrack.
Yeah, head on into that outside wall for Ryan Preece.
He's had some hard hits this year.
It's been a bad year.
Yeah, JTG Doherty Racing has suffered through quite a few disappointments.
See, the contact right there got they loose. Puts them both in the fence. And man,
This Reddick trying to win this race. All right, let's keep an eye on this next shot.
Yeah, watch Jimmy Johnson in the 48.
There's all 3 of the point guys all right together in the middle of this wreck. Look at William Byron. It doesn't get closer than that. Wow. Wow.
Through the gears they go. Green flag back in the air.
sounded like Eddie Hamlin spun the tires just a little bit. But man, again, he has the best help in the field behind him on these restarts. The 22, Logano. This inside, though.
Tyler Reddick leading that inside line in the 8. Now he's going to get a little push from Chris Buescher.
Both lines pushing very hard.
Chase Elliott in the 9. Third on that inside line. Then it's Christopher Bell, the rookie, in the 95.
Tyler Reddick leading this race. One of those drivers that could upset the bubble battle. Loose right there. Look at him. The cars are not handling good. A lot of these guys on old tires. car sideways off of turn 4, sideways through the trioval.
Busher just pushing him, making him even more sideways.
Again, Joe Logano almost gets Denny Hamlin out to the lead. Almost. He's still locked on that bumper. Off of turn 2, he's going to clear him.
No clear him right here. No help right there with the 8 car from the 17, so that allows the front 2 to clear. Here comes Boyer with a big run.
Back Vincent. Being aggressive up in there.
Look at how loose the 11 is from that push of the 22 of Logano. Hamlin hanging on for his life up front.
Bubba Wallace made it 3 wide, and when he did, that allowed William Byron to go with him, and that let him clear Jimmy Johnson. There's Matty D in that 21 car.
Coming up, the bubble battle. Right now, Matt Benedetto, Jimmy Johnson are in. William Byron's out. 3 laps to go at Daytona.
They almost wrecked into turn 1. Chase Elliott was below the yellow line. Wasn't a penalty because he wasn't passing anybody, but really good save. Oh, big push from Matty D to Matt Kenseth.
Look at him moving around. The 22 is able to save it.
Wow. Kenseth with a big run right here, guys.
Side by side with the lead. Matt Kenseth in the middle, though, is going to help Denny.
Clint Boyer on the bottom of the 14. Now contact made. Kenseth came down. The 14 up. The 9 out of shape. Here comes the 22. Logano's going to take the lead away from Denny Hamlin. 2 laps to go.
Bubba Wallace on the outside.
Big run. Contact made again. Bubba Wallace sideways. Can he save it?
William Byron.
Now the 22 goes around. He's going to come out now. Big run behind him. Bubba Wallace got through. Tyler Reddick hard hit. Jimmy Johnson caught up in the 48.
Yeah, big damage on Jimmy's car.
Could this be it for the 7-time champion? Not making the playoffs in his final year. It's going to go to overtime, but can the 48 even turn a lap?
Bit of a red flag here down in turn 1.
Wow. And you have to make minimum speed. What if it's for 2 laps, Steve?
Yeah, they just need to get the car to make laps. Minimum speed won't be a concern, but the concern is right here. The 24 is in basically one piece moving around to see if he has any flat tires. I don't know how many wrecks it was until they finally wrecked. The action was unbelievable. 2, 3, and 4 wide. Finally, it just felt like it was coming, and it did. Nowhere for Jimmy Johnson to go. Heavy, heavy damage. We saw the 24.
I had mentioned the fact that there are 2 drivers right now that are tied for 9th. Well, how about Jimmy Johnson? 83 career wins. He's top 5. And then, of course, only 3 drivers have ever won 7 championships. Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt, Jimmy Johnson. And this is his final season full-time in NASCAR. And not the way he wanted to end the regular season and head on into the playoffs if he misses those playoffs.
Kenseth, man, he was doing such a great job tonight with that 42 car.
Joey Logano looked loose, looked out of shape. We're almost the last 2 laps.
I think he had a flat tire there. A lot of contact into turn 1. Let's take a look at it. Watch William Byron. So there's big contact right there with Bubba Wallace. Then William Byron through the middle. Even more contact with William Byron. I think that's where maybe the 22 car lost the right rear tire. Either that or just got turned around.
Yeah, once Joey gets up the racetrack, watch right here. There's contact all the way off turn 4, coming through the trioval. Joey makes a big move, feeling like he's in really good shape right here. Bubba Wallace to the outside. The 11 is in the back of Joey Logano. That gets him into Bubba Wallace. William Byron makes it 4 wide. Now that's when they make the contact, cut the right rear tire. Matty D could not get slowed down, and that's how quickly things happen at Daytona. Just a point of the race where you can't lift. You cannot lift right there.
Watch the 48 and how this happened.
Yeah, Jimmy sees all this going on in front of him and is trying to get out of the gas. Lifting, and Matt Kenseth up the racetrack into the outside of the 48. Jimmy clips Tyler Reddick, sends him into the fence. Helpless feeling for a lot of those guys, because once you get kind of turned, you're on your way wherever you're going, into the fence or into other cars. You see the damage. The splitter has their left front tire locked up on that 48 car, so they're going to have to cut that free to be able to get him rolling.
Denny Hamlin, William Byron making up row one.
Denny Hamlin's best friend right now is Matt DiBenedetto. I think with the position Matt's in, he'd be happy to push that 11 car to the win, but that inside line is organized, and they're going by Denny on the inside. Clint Boyer pushing that 24 Byron to the lead.
On the racetrack block for the 11. Clint Boyer goes up. Here comes Christopher Bell in the 95.
Christopher Bell is racing for a win. Try to get into the playoffs.
Christopher Bell, the 25-year-old, going up right now against the 22-year-old and William Byron. Those two leading at Daytona.
Got two lines behind them. Not a lot of energy that's going to be generated from that. As long as they're too wide, now you're starting to see a little bit of a run from that top lane. That's going to move this bottom lane. Truex to the outside of Bell.
What was the number you mentioned earlier, Steve? How many times at Super Speedway races has Martin Truex Jr. come up a little bit short?
Car in the fence, hard.
Clint Boyer in the 14 slamming into the wall.
Hold your line, hold your line, hold your line.
They've already taken the white flag. The next flag will end the race. Martin Truex Jr. out front. Now William Byron fighting on the inside for the lead and the win. They run behind him again.
Stay with your teammate.
They continue to fight
You're clear.
through 3 and 4. William Byron looking for his first ever win in the NASCAR Cup Series. A win, a secured spot in the playoffs. William Byron's going to win. Chase Elliott coming home in second. NASCAR has told us they wouldn't throw the caution if they thought the drivers were not in danger, if they were involved in an accident. They let them race all the way back to the checkered flag. You see the 13, Ty Dillon, hard contact. We saw the 4 of Kevin Harvick also involved. Clint Boyer was involved.
21 of Matt DiBenedetto across the line in 12th. A little bit of damage from some of those crashes happening in that last lap, where he has a little bit of...
Right now, unofficially, the 48 of Jimmy Johnson out of the playoffs. The 21 of Matt DiBenedetto. Taylor, you can continue crying. We know you're watching at home. Matt DiBenedetto looks to have just made it into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I had confidence in Chad and the guys that we could get 4 tires and make the most of it. So just extremely blessed, and this is it's incredible, man. It's been a hard couple of years in the Cup Series and trying to get my first win and try to gel with this team. These guys have done an awesome job today and gotten us in the playoffs, and it's amazing, man.
What a moment to celebrate with your crew. William, how intense was the racing tonight? Racing your teammate Jimmy Johnson, knowing it was a point or two, either way it could swing. What was that like in the pack all night long?
Yeah, it probably the hardest track to points race. You know, we didn't have a great stage 2. Kind of got back in the pack, got shuffled when everyone went single file, and kind of thought my hopes were up there. And we were racing around the 21 and the 48 in the final stage. And I was like, man, I gotta really make something happen, and luckily was able to push the 43. The 22 and him made some contact and opened up a hole for me, and I wasn't going to lift, so it's awesome. Thanks to Liberty University, Chevrolet. Thanks to God, it's amazing.
First and foremost, congratulations to my teammate. His first Cup win like that, and this setting and the drama to go with it. It's a big win for Chad Knaus, William Byron. I'm really happy for those guys. I really felt like we had a way to transfer to win or point our way in the way it went in the first 2 stages. And things just got ugly now in turn 1. So unfortunate, but I mean, let's play racing.
You seemed like you had the speed today, Jimmy. The 48 car looked like it was a potential race winner, or at least top 5 car.
Yeah, we had a really good car, and in the last couple months we've been really getting our act together and running well, and definitely disappointed to not be in the playoffs. That was the #1 goal to start the year. But when I look back at disqualification at Charlotte and then missing the Brickyard 400 due to my COVID-19 positive test, and only missed it by 6 points. There's a lot of, anyway, I'm not gonna dwell on it. We did all that we could this year. I am so thankful for Hendrick Motorsports and the career that I've had there, the relationship with Ally and their continued support with this race team. Cliff Daniels and these guys on my team that pour their guts out for me. So there's 10 races left, 10 trophies to go chase, and we'll have to focus our efforts there.
You mentioned Cliff. I know he said that this, making it or not making it, would not define your season, would certainly not define your career. Pretty accurate?
Yeah, that's not fair to put on it. The last 3 years have been tough. We all know that. I think we've shown some bright spots, and Cliff has done a really good job of leading this team and taking this team in the right direction, and I think that we can show that and close out the year.
A couple of days, do you make the corner and say, I've got 10 more chances to win?
Oh, I'm there. It's I'm not going to dwell on this too much. I mean, I don't know what I could have done differently, you know. And when you have 2 goose eggs and points in two of the 25 or 6 races that we compete at, you know, it's tough to overcome.